Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is 803 Garage, and today we're going to hook up some speakers and a 4.1 surround sound. Yes, that is right, 4.1 surround sound, because I'm just going to triple my stereo sound because the center speaker is non-existent for this setup. You'll see why at the end of this video. The speaker. Boom. Nice. Good. Boom. Installed. So we have 4 speakers hooked up. Not sure if the, well, there's 5 hooked up. I'm not sure if the center speaker is part of this. So it could only be, because that's stereo times 2. So it's only like a 2.1 with the extra speakers copying the right and left. But we have 12-inch Logitech subwoofer, 500 watts RMS. So yeah, so right now I'm running off the pod. But later on, I'll be running off of this. I have a 3-to-1, which will be the headphone jack that pops into the phone or your Alexa device. So right now, again, I'm running off the pod. So now that we have the system installed and you've seen all the cool stuff, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of how I decided to install this system. So my garage is complete chaos. We're gonna put a speaker there and probably put a speaker there. And then I wanna put 2 somewhere in this vicinity. Yes, I could work on the drywall, but what's the fun in that? If you don't have surround sound. Just an excuse, purely an excuse. So you're planning on installing your surround sound in your garage and or room. I grabbed 2 markers for these purposes. Anyways, you have your typical room. Don't pay attention to this because this does not exist. So let's just cross that off. So that marker's kind of dead. All right, we have a garage. So we have 1 door here, 1 door here. We have a post in the center. And then on the side here, we have a door, and this door opens inward this way. So that's a swing of the door. Over here, we have your work area. There's a sink. There's some cabinets up top. I'll just do that. That means cabinets. Then you have your shelf. Then you have a toolbox. And then the last thing, there'll be a blank space here. Maybe I'll put a door there one day. Who knows? And then it will open in. Anyways, we digress. So this is your typical, well, this is my garage. I don't know if it's your typical one. And when you have a surround sound, you kind of want to find a focal point of how it's going to work. So if this was a home theater, we would choose the center point here as the focal point of the room. However, this is a garage. So the focal point is going to differ for wherever I happen to be in the room. So what I decided to do in this case alone, because we have cabinetry here, I can't put the speaker right in the corner to maximize the audio performance going outward. So I had to think about the height of everything, where everything was spaced. Long story short, we have cabinets and they open outward just like that. And so that means I can't put the speakers here because it'll get hit. So we put the speaker right here. So the next thing I did, because I like things to be symmetrical, is I went all the way over here and I put the speaker right there. Now they're facing outwards, so speakers like that. And that's the audio for the room. Same thing for this. And then this is gonna go into the room. Now the next thing I was thinking, okay, we could have these speakers aiming this way. My problem is I have a garage door as such. With that coming up, it would hit the speaker. So that was a no-go for me. That was definitely a no-go. So I got to thinking, and if we put the speakers aiming inward, it'll solve 2 problems. One, the garage doors will clear it. They'll obviously be below the garage door, and it'll keep more sound inside the room. So we have our speaker, and it's pointed this way toward the room. So that's where the audio is going to travel. Same thing with right over here. It's pointed inwards of the room, and then the audio is going to travel. So really the focal point is staying in the center of the room, kind of like what I said with the home theater setup. And you have your 4 speakers, because this is a 4.1 surround sound system that works off of stereo. So it's kind of 4.1, but it's not really true 4.1. If you were to have like an actual system here, like if you want to put a TV in here or whatever, typically that kind of stuff. The subwoofer is actually right over here, as you know, which is awesome. If I was to put like a home theater in this room, if it's 5.1, you would have your speaker here to go outward, and then you have your focal point right here. So that way you got your 5 points, and your 1 for that, that's where you get 5.1. If you were to add another subwoofer, if I had my options to make everything perfect, you could add it over here. That way you have the subwoofer booming outward, and then you have the other subwoofer booming outward. So now it's starting to get kind of complicated. There's other things you can do where you can add another speaker to have a 6.1 surround sound. So that would be pointing in toward the room, and then that would be coming outward. And then if you have like an 8.1, you have another speaker on the side, so that's coming out into the center. And then over here, that's coming out into the side, into the center. So you have all these speakers kind of going around the room, and that creates a full enriched sound system. We kind of quickly this went to ludicrous real quick, but we have our 4 points speakers, and then our subwoofer for our 4.1 system. Anyways, let's get on with the installation portion of this video. So I've chosen this speaker to be, well, it won't fit here in any kind of configuration, because when the door comes up, it just grazes it. So it's not good. You'll take my word for it. I'm not going to show you. But the next best location to get all out of the way but still sound great would be on the wall in this configuration. Now I haven't decided if I'm going to have it with grills on. Can I do this one-handed? I'll just rest it there. Or grills off. Grills on, grills off. I'm probably going to go with grills off. Now that we know the idea of where we want to place it, we want to find the spot where it's going to sit. Typically, I start the most difficult speaker to place in the room, and then I go from there. We want the center of the curve, so then we're going to do the same thing to create a symmetrical look on the opposite side of the garage. This area had more space. Over here, you see me placing the speaker against the ceiling, and I'm opening and closing the door to see where the speaker is going to sit to make sure it's out of the way of everything. And typically, I hang my levels here, so if I move the levels, I'm not going to hit the speaker, and that gives me my position. The next thing I want to do is take this same position, copy it on the other side of the garage. So this is my sub. It's a 12-inch Logitech, 500 watts. Not necessarily the sub, but the whole system together, because the amp is built into the back, and it powers the 5 speakers via this cable here, which eliminates the pod, which is typically what these speakers come with, into the headphone connection ends, which I have another cable which I'll insert here because I can't find it right now. This is the 3 female to male headphone adapter, which will be able to occupy or have a media device plugged into it. And then as you can see, when I connect that to these, I have a single cable going out, which will then be connected to my Alexa and or my cell phone. So I got a majority of these speakers hooked up. I still got to run one more cable, but we'll do that later. It's not going to be applicable for tonight because it'll only be a 2.1 system until I find the cable for this to make it a 4.1 system in stereo though. Not true 4.1, but just, yeah, you guys get it. So now I'm just wiring in the subwoofer, dropping all the speaker wires behind the shelving unit. So within the rest of my garage, I've queued up some copyright-free music, and away we go. So that was literally just the sub. I guess it really does need all the other connections. So guys, the sound system is hooked up, speakers are in place. I did have to cheat it. I brought in the pod from another room. That's not gonna stay out here. I do have, I have to find the cable and or make it. I'll probably just either find it or go on Amazon and pay the $10, get another one. I probably gave them away. I couldn't find my 2-to-1 and I couldn't find my 3-to-1. And then I tried to fake it a little bit and put them all together with some wire, like alligator clips and whatnot. And it was really, really sketchy. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. But the sound system works, it's in. I want to demo that. Once I get that 3-to-1 in, it'll take all the connections and make them into one. Obviously, you'll see what I'm talking about once I edit this video and put it all together. And you'll see the 3-to-1 that I was talking about, where it's going to take the rear speakers, the front speakers, and the center speaker, which is also doubles as the subwoofer signal in, and all those speakers into one line under a stereo, so it'll be a 2.1 system, multiplied to have all speakers working at the same time. So it'll be kind of like a virtual 4.1, not really true 4.1. And definitely not a 5.1 because there's no center speaker in this setup. But all in all, this is a freaking amazing thing. Now I'm going to throw on the play, and you know what to do. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like the journey here. I need some sound for when I'm cleaning up the garage, which is what we're working on. As you can see, if I do that, you see the mess this place is. I'm just trying to organize everything, and man, it is hard to do. But now that we got some beats, we can go to business, or get down to business, or whatever that saying is. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace! This is what it sounds like on the outside of my house. Ooh, you can feel it right through the door. That's hilarious.